Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to implement a tour gateway class which is based on the table data gateway pattern that we've learned in the lecture, and gateway that I'm going to show you how to create it is actually based on the tour controller, which is automatically generated by the ASP.NET. Okay, so we start with Explore California context, and you can see that it is a subclass of the DB context class, which is, as I said in the lab, that it is a unit of work pattern, and it takes care of all the data synchronization and consistency and database transaction for you. Now, whatever data set, DB set that you put in this class is basically correspond to a database table. So in a way, DB set is actually a table data gateway. However, as I've also explained, that this DB set only provide basic database operations such as insert, update, and delete, and it doesn't have any advanced operation if you need to. Okay, so that's the reason why we're gonna implement the tour gateway pattern. Class. So I've already have the interface here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I just go ahead and generate a tour controller. I've already have it here, but I will generate again. So I'm gonna add a new controller, and the controller that I want to add is this MVC controller with view, and I would have to specify my model class, which is basically based on the tour, the data context class, which is the Explore California context. I want to generate the view. I want to use the layout page. Okay, so a set of views will be generated together with my controller, and I have to make sure that I have the right name for my controller. I can say yes, I want to replace the existing. See that the new tour controller has been created for you and is using a database context here. So as I explained, that we don't want to use the database context directly in the controller class, it is better to connect your controller with a gateway. So in case that you want to change your database, or if you want to switch to different kind of data source, then it's easy for you to do so. So in order to do this, we're gonna implement a tour gateway, which implement this interface. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this class, okay, and it's just a class, and I call it a tour gateway. Okay, and edit. So I want to say that it implement my my interface, my tour. So there's a lot of functions that I haven't implemented here, so that's what I need to do. First I need to add the model, and I need to add all of the methods that I have to implement here. Okay, so we can do it one by one, and the best way to do this is by looking at the controller, because the tour controller right now have all the source code for interacting with the database, such as deleting tour, etc. So in order to implement my tour gateway, I'm gonna refer to my tour controller and say the delete, for example. So where's the delete? Here it is, the delete. So the delete will take in an ID of a tour and check whether it is a bad request. It look for the tours, the tour that you want to delete, and this is the when you click the delete, and when you confirm the delete, it gonna remove the tour for you. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this one here, okay, to my tour gateway, okay, ID. So in my tour gateway now, I need a database context because I need to connect to the database. So I'm gonna just get this one, alright, and I put it in my gateway here, as you can see. Okay, so tour, alright, so this one, and then I'll just return a tour. Okay, now this is basically I select by ID. So what I'm gonna do is there's a select by ID here. Okay, let's just say return tour select by ID. That's what it is, right? And instead of the code just now, I just say select by ID and pass in the ID. Okay, so done. I've implemented the delete function. So in my tour controller, what I have to do here is for this, where it is, for this part, okay, all I need to do is so now I need a gateway, you know, a gateway instance, a tour gateway instance. So I need a tour gateway, and I say tour gateway to gateway. Okay, and in my delete function, I would just have to say tour gateway dot delete. So basically, I don't need to care about how the gateway gonna delete this tour, and that's not the main job of the controller. The controller will basically tell the gateway to delete it, and how the gateway delete it is not really a problem, right? So we go back to this insert, right? And I need to implement this insert for the tour gateway. So I go to the controller and see how I create a new tour here. So this is basically the code for creating a new tour. This is to make sure that my data model is valid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this one, X, alright, and say I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, so basically what I need to do is I need to add this tour to my database and save it, and then back to my controller and say tour gateway dot insert. I want to insert this tour into my database. So the controller does not need to care about saved changes. That's the job of the tour gateway. Okay, and what else? My gateway, I need to have the save function. So save is basically just db dot save changes. So basically, instead of this, I can, you know, replace it with save. Same thing here, I can replace it with save, so that it is more consistent in case that you have different way to save changes. Okay, and what else in my tour gateway? Select all. I need to select all the tour, and this is basically used by the index action to basically list on the tour. So what I could do is I look at this one, and this is to release all, you know, the tours. So I'm gonna copy this one, and I'm gonna put it in here, say return, okay, paste it here, tours to list. So here I would just say view tour gateway, and I want to select all, Right, then it's gonna give me all the tours. What else? In my tour gateway, select by ID, update. Update is used to update a tour, so this object is basically a tour, and this is normally used in edit. So we go to edit and see how we basically update a tour. So this is a source code to update the tour. Again, I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna put it here. Right, and this is so there's some library that I need here, which is the entity framework library, and this line is to declare that the state has changed, and the second line is to save the changes. Okay, so it looks like I've implemented all of the function for my tour gateway. Let's go back to the controller and fix. So edit, right, so I need to tell the tour gateway that please update my tour, and that's it. So here is to find by ID. So again, I'm gonna replace by the tour gateway dot select by ID. And what else? Let's just forget about the dispose for this moment. We're not gonna use it. What is it? This is also select by ID, so we're gonna replace it by the tour gateway dot select by ID. Okay, and is that all? DB, same thing that we have here, tour gateway dot select by ID. So look like we have everything done. So what you could do is just run, and hopefully it would work. So I've run this tour index and there's no tour yet, so I can just go ahead and create a new one. Alright, and then okay, mail and create, and the tour is recorded here. I can edit, I can change the price, for example, save it. Okay, so let's look at this and review our source code. I have my tour controller here, and it doesn't deal with the database context directly. So what it does is that it connect with the database through the tour gateway, and the tour gateway take care of how the database is basically send and retrieve from the database. So let's say if you have things like I want to get all the tours by price, it can it can be quoted here, and from your tour controller you can actually call the method, and that's how you implement a table data gateway pattern based on the controller, which is automatically generated by ASP.NET.